Hello everyone and welcome to the Assetto Corsa track guide for the circuit VALENCIA Ricardo Tormo. Quite a mouthful, I'm just going to say Valencia. But this is a detailed track guide. We're going to go through all the braking points that you can use, all the markers you can use, extra markers here, there and everywhere as we head towards turn one. We're first going to look on the right hand side because we have that white bit of the barrier there, the second to last one. I normally brake just after that. Instead, you could use the yellow trucks or alternatively, the start of the fence there. All three of these are valid brake markers. I'm starting to use the fence a little bit more because it's exactly where I want to brake here. And I'm going to drop 2 gears and chuck it in. Now, I want to actually use all the curve on the inside and try and use that to rotate the car a bit more. You can head over towards the outside. You can use all that green bit there, so you can go out wider than even I did there and try and carry the speed. It's all about carrying speed into turn one. It really is. Lots of lap time there. As you get to turn 2 here, you got the white line here. You're braking just before that. Of course, very hard to see if you're overtaking or defending. You're on the inside. So you can also use the second to last grandstand there on the right-hand side as that hits the edge of your screen. Now, what you want to do here is either a late apex or keep it tight. Now, I prefer to keep it tight here, and then I start to accelerate as quick as possible. Let the car rotate. It feels like there's a bit of camber there to help you as well. Just avoid going too wide here. Red and white curbing is that track limit. Over towards the left-hand side, cutting that curb on the left, heading over towards the left as quick as possible. And what we have here is the white line there. Now, if you brake on the curb, because you're going left and then transitioning with the weight, if you brake on the curb, it'll just mess with the suspension a little bit. At least that's what I found. And you will get a bit of oversteer. So just be careful about braking on the curb. It's better to just stay off it here and then turn in. Don't go too tight to the curb. If you bounce over that curb, it can be really awkward. I'll try and avoid it where possible. You can cut it a little bit. As you head to this next right-hander, I'm looking for that little bit of white sign there on the right-hand side as my brake marker here. Because it's a right-hander, I'm always looking there anyway. As that leaves the edge of your screen, that's when I start to brake and then try and get turned in and trail brake into this corner. As I start braking now, I've let off a little bit here. I'm just trying to slow the car down enough here, and then I'm going to accelerate out. It's uphill as well, and the car seems to balance itself very nicely here. You can see that as well. Because it's uphill, I'm in a Ferrari. Mid-engine, sorry. So the weight is over the rear, so it just helps a bit more transition that weight over the rear wheels. As you head over towards the right-hand side, this left-hander, you're looking for that white line. You're actually braking just after it. Now, it's actually possible to go over the red and white curb in here and try and widen this corner up as much as possible. I didn't do that too often here. As you see, I stayed towards the left. Now, once again, I'm trying to turn in and really accelerate quite early here. You can open up this corner very nicely. Just be careful of track limits on the exit because it does... very easy to get there if you run too wide. As I say, as I go through that corner, literally the car likes to settle itself very nice. It's like there's a bit of camber there to help you. And then you're just going to go through that little kink there and head over towards the right-hand side where we have 2 brake markers here. What I first used was the white line because the white lines are very helpful. But you can also use the orange barrier on the right-hand side as that hits the edge of your screen. Both of these are very valid. You're trying to brake exactly on them, okay? Exactly on them. So after the orange barrier leaves the screen or as you hit the white line there. And this, staying tight, I felt was better. I tried running wide and coming back and it didn't really work out. Staying tight works wonders on this corner. And the green patch there, that's signifying your apex. So literally start accelerating the second you see that. The car should be fine. The Ferrari certainly was here. But literally... second you see that and hit it, start to accelerate, use all the track on the exit. It does open up quite nicely here. You can see the Ferrari in front of me does the exact same thing. And you see there's a bit of tarmac there as well. You're going to head over towards that left-hand side then. And this corner, a very unique corner. I love this corner. So you want to brake in a straight line, okay? Brake in a straight line. So you can use a bit more of the curb here. And it's the end of the green patch there, what I'm using. Now, I've highlighted the Ferrari because that's where I'm going. I'm braking in a straight line, 100%. In a straight line. Remember, your tires can only do 100% of something. You can't do 100% turning and 100% braking. It doesn't work. Brake in a straight line. Notice I'm going towards the outside. I'll start releasing the brakes now to come back in towards the corner because you really need to get it turned, point, and squirt. That's all you're trying to do here. Straight out here. You can use a lot of the exit here as I show. Come back onto the circuit. And the reason you come back onto the circuit is because of this curb here. You can drive over it and it's not too bad, but I just didn't like the feel. You know, it's a big bounce there. You'll feel the car get unsettled. Stay safe. You can go back over towards the left-hand side in a second. So once you pass that, start to head over towards the left-hand side as we get ready for this corner, which is a very difficult corner to nail properly. It's really hard. So on the left-hand side, we have an orange barrier. You can either use the end of that, so you start to lift off and brake, or you can use the white line as your judgment. So 2 markers there you can use again. Now, this corner, you want to clip the red and white curbing on the inside. You don't want to go over that, so you clip it on the inside and accelerate out. So now you use a bit of the first bit if you can, and then you need to try and avoid this second bit here. Now, I'm actually going to hit it on this lap. It's going to cost me a bit of time. If you hit this curb in here, you're going to bounce. You're going to bounce quite violently. It can chuck you off into the gravel trap on the right-hand side or spin you out. So what you want to do is avoid that. You notice the bounce there, huge bounce, lifted the front end up massively. It's obviously cost me my racing line, cost me a tenth and a half, 2 tenths there as we head down towards the last corner. So what you do here is you're looking for that white line here, there, and there's not many more markers you can really use here. So you really do have to judge this accordingly. But I'm braking just after that white line in this Ferrari. Some people are braking at it, some people are braking just before it. I find you could be very aggressive into this corner and you would be fine. If you go too aggressive though, it's slightly downhill. You can see that you might get a bit of oversteer. I did overcook it at once or twice. Now, I short shift to second gear to avoid any traction issues. Remember, downhill, no weight over the rear wheels. Therefore, I'm going to have a little bit less traction on exit. And then we're going to accelerate towards the line. You can use a bit of the track limits there, but you do have to be very careful. And this is a lap of Valencia. So you're looking in terms of esports times, they're going to end up in the 129s. 130s are still good laps, and that's 131.1. Definitely 30s easily available for myself there. Right, we've done a track guide there, a detailed track guide. Let me talk through some of the overtaking and defending places, or how to defend and overtake, and where you can actually overtake at Valencia. Here we go then, and we're going to head towards turn 1, and Heikki's going to go for a move on me here into turn 1. Now, turn 1 isn't a place to really go for a move, as you will see here, because what I can do here is, rather than defend it, I'll just carry the speed around the outside. Now, I may suffer track limits, but in this situation, I won't, because I've lost so much time anyway. So in that situation, I've sort of defended it there by just carrying that momentum through the corner. And turn 1, you will sacrifice your exit if you do go for the move, which we'll demonstrate a little bit later on. Now, turn 2 is the place where I would see people going for moves if you really carry the speed like I do here. However, defend like Monroe here, if you stay on the inside, it's very hard to get the move done there. You can do if you can keep that overlap on the exit. So if you get a really good exit there, keep the overlap, then you will be able to overtake into this right-hander. We'll see that again a little bit later on. This is another corner where you can make moves happen, but again, defending it is very easy because you just stay on the inside here. Keep it tight, and I've got to go the long way round, and it doesn't really work. However, the next corner is where I'm going to see most overtakes, in my opinion, and where you will see them as well. So we go to another lap here, and the Porsche up ahead is looking at the Ferrari. Now, a lot of people are going to send this down that inside there, really get the job done, because people go out in the braking zones. If you just get on that inside tucking in, then you're going to be alongside before the corner even starts. That is a good place to overtake. Now, we're going to follow this battle through now, and it's going to show you where you can and can't overtake and how the compromises happen, as we spoke about earlier on. So the Porsche defends on the inside. Very easy to defend this corner. Stay on that inside, slow it up. You might be able to get a slingshot off so you get ahead before turn 1. However, we're actually going to watch Niels here go for that move into turn 1. And this is the compromise you have if it's a three-way battle. And one, again, we saw earlier how it was compromised anyway. You can defend on the outside. But even so, going into here, they're going to go for it through there. Leave a little bit of space there for the Porsche. And you can see the run I get here on both of them then as we head towards the left-hander. Now, as we go into here, Niels has obviously carried that bit more speed and has a bit more overlap there. And you can see that overlap works a charm, because at that point then, I've got to give room and lose a car a little bit there. Just going to the right, and then the Ferrari keeps that position. So if you can keep that overlap, then it works wonders. So the main place to overtake, in my opinion, is going to be that straight line braking if you can get on the inside of the other car, and that's going to be the main overtaking place, I suspect, as well as turn 2, seeing a lot of dives into there. Right, that's it for overtaking and defending. Let's talk about the pit lane. So we're going to head towards the last corner then, slow the car down, chuck it in, and as we head towards the pit lane here, we're going to go towards that right-hand side. Now, I'm going to pick out the pit marker for you in terms of when to brake, and it's right there, that orange barrier, braking just before this, okay? You don't brake at it, just before it. Hit on the anchors extremely hard, and you're going to see here as we slow the car down, we just get under there and then we're hitting 31. So it's very safe. Obviously, the earlier you brake, the safer it'll be. Try and get as close to that barrier as possible, but if you get too close, you're going to go too far into the pits. So what we're going to do, we're just going to fast forward this bit and get to the pit exit, where we find out that the overall pit time from when we started braking to that white line is 35 seconds. So quite a significant pit lane there, especially when it's a long straight. So don't get drive-throughs. Drive-throughs are going to be very bad for you. So just be careful of that. That is it in terms of the pit lane, and that is it in terms of this track guide. I do hope you've enjoyed this track guide. It's been very fun to make. I've thoroughly enjoyed making it, and hopefully it is of help to you as well. This is a fantastic addition to ATC, and I can't wait to race it a lot more in the future. If you have liked this video, do give it a like, subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. But that is it for me, folks. Thank you once again for watching, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.